I didn't know our principal, Sergei Ivanych, is so short. He's always either behind his desk or behind the podium delivering speeches. There must be something hidden under his seat to lift him up, because now, as he walks me down the hall, I see that he is no taller than a kid. Nina Petrovna didn't break off the nose, I say. That woman is no longer my responsibility, he says, and keeps walking. Finkelstein didn't break it either. Finkelstein confessed in front of everybody. He did it to get into Lubyanka to look for his parents. His parents were executed, he says, and shrugs. Somebody should have told him. I'm getting the shivers again. My teeth start to chatter. Poor Four Eyes. His aunt told him his parents had been shot. Why didn't he believe her? Now he's gone to prison for nothing. No stopping. Let's go, Zaitchik, says Sergei Ivanych, and he grabs my arm and pulls me down the stairs to the basement. He's short but strong. Sergei Ivanych knocks softly on the storage room door. 3 quick knocks, a pause, 3 quick ones again. He listens for a moment, takes a key out of his pocket, unlocks the door, and nudges me in. Good luck, Zaitchik, he says, and shuts the door. I expect to see Metvik in here, guarding state property, but, in fact, I see nothing, just darkness. I listen to Sergei Ivanych locking the door and walking away, and wait for my eyes to adjust to the dark. I grope for the wall and find it clammy to the touch. I feel my way along the wall, boots wading through what feels like shallow water. Soon, I bump into something large and smooth, and I turn to it. I slide my hands over the plaster crevices, and when I find the face, the nose is missing. So this is where they hauled you, Comrade Stalin, into this dark and moldy place. A faint yellow light flickers from the doorway of some room farther in. It gives off enough light for me to make out the shapes of the things around me. At my feet is Vovka's prized watercolor, Comrade Stalin at the helm, the colors running in streaks behind the cracked glass. Next, leaning against the wall and buckling in the water, are dozens of group photographs, the kids' and teachers' faces blackened, scratched, or stabbed out with something sharp. It's creepy. Out of sight, out of mind. That's why they put all this stuff down here, says a hoarse voice from the dark. It helps people forget. When I turn to the voice, I see the state security senior lieutenant sitting on a wooden crate under a dim light bulb, smiling at me. Have a seat, Zaitchik, he says, and waves at another crate nearby. Make yourself comfortable. The crate is overflowing with the lists of suspects they made us write. I hesitate and glance at the senior lieutenant, but he nods, so I sit on top of the names. Treat yourself, he says, holding a small tin box with hard candies inside. Take as many as you want. I take one, but he keeps the box open, staring at me, smiling. I take another. Do you mind if I read something to you, he says. I shrug, and he takes out a piece of paper and unfolds it carefully. He clears his throat and starts reading. It's not possible to be a true pioneer without training one's character in the Stalinist spirit. I solemnly promise to make myself strong from physical exercise, to forge my communist character, and always to be vigilant, because our capitalist enemies are never asleep. I will not rest until I am truly useful to my beloved Soviet land, and to you personally, dear Comrade Stalin. Thank you for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. It's the letter I wrote yesterday, which my dad was supposed to deliver to Stalin. I found it in your dad's briefcase. He leans in close and pats me on the knee. After all that's happened, do you still want to become a pioneer? I will not renounce my dad, I say. You won't have to, Zaitchik. In your case, we're willing to make an exception. Speaking in a secretive voice, he continues, we're offering you a rare opportunity to pledge assistance to the Soviet state security. All you have to do is listen in, observe, and report suspicious behavior right here in your own school. Let your deep-felt devotion to communism be your guide. You'll be our secret agent, like your dad. Comrade Stalin called him an iron broom, purging the vermin from our midst. You bring us enough reports, Zaitchik, and you'll get to meet Stalin too. Imagine that. My dad was never a snitch. What do you think your dad's job was? He says, surprised. He moves his crate so it's touching mine and wraps his arm over my shoulders. This close, I can smell him. Tobacco, sweat, and something else. Gunpowder, I decide. Frankly, Zaitchik, I used to have great respect for your dad. 2 years ago, when he submitted a report on the anti-communist activity of a certain foreign national who happened to be his wife, I'm talking about your mother here, he acted as a true communist, willing to make a personal sacrifice for the good of the common cause. He's lying. My mom died in the hospital, I say. He looks at me strangely and continues. But with time, your father's vigilance faltered, and he became easy prey for your mother's spy contacts. My mother wasn't a spy. I try to get up, but his arm keeps me seated. He confessed, Sasha, he says. Everybody confesses in Lubyanka, I say, repeating what Stalin's nose said. You know how to make people talk. I understand. It's a lot to take in. But I'm giving you a chance to make the right choice. If you carry the banner today at the Pioneers' Rally, everybody will be looking at you and thinking, there goes Sasha Zaitchik, he's one of us again. He moves his right hand toward me, palm open, waiting for me to shake it. If you choose not to, I'll be talking to you in the basement of Lubyanka prison. You don't want this to happen, do you, Sasha? I look at him. He means it. I shake his hand.